Grizzlies fans know it's the team that gives you the edge. Big River Steel does too. And much like the Grizzlies have recruited legendary talent, we want you to be part of our team. Are you ready to be part of something legendary? Then visit www.bigriversteel.com. That's www.bigriversteel.com.
There's no substitute for experience, the knowledge gained from having been there before, and the passion to share what you know to make everyone around you better. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies Checking from Pinnacle. Play hard. Bank easy. Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by August 31st, and you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
Justin Timberlake.
I'm bringing sexy back.
The Forget Tomorrow World Tour. Live in Memphis. Justin Timberlake. FedEx Forum, Saturday, November 23rd. Get tickets now at livenation.com. The brand new single Selfish is available to stream and download now.
If I get jealous, I can't help it.
For more, hit up justintimberlake.com.
In Bo we trust. Bo is the future. I just want to go back to August 19th when I've made it perfectly clear. When I make the Fantasy Football Championship and the Broncos make the playoffs because of the success of Bo Nix. The bar is low. Give me Bo. That's a good one. The bar is low. Give me Bo.
Tune in to the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt live every weekday at 8 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Live from the Built Ford Tough studio at FedEx Forum, it's the Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South, on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Now, here's your host, Gary Parrish.
What's up, y'all? Welcome into the Gary Parrish Show. It's a Friday, and I'm not Gary Parrish. I'm Lang Whitaker. I'm here again today. I was here yesterday with you guys, too. As always, Bennett Doyle is with me on the ones and twos, and we are in the Built for Tough studio here at FedEx Forum, and it's finally here. It is time.
It does feel like that time, doesn't it?
College
It hit me,
football
yeah.
is here.
It hit me last night and today when you tailgated in the JB show. Yeah, that's,
Yeah, I got here early this morning, and for the Jessica Benson Show, I tailgated. So I cooked. They wanted to tailgate, so I made a big thing of sausage. I made a big thing of sausage and peppers, and made sandwiches, and everyone's in there. If this show is poorly produced and directed today, it's because half the people are in there eating right now.
Yeah,
so,
that's right.
No shade to.
Yeah, we got the hot dog
to Jacob.
We got the hot dog food trucks outside.
There's a hot dog turf war
so,
happening outside FedEx Forum right now too. So
it feels like football.
It's football season, man. It's a little rainy today for the first time. It's kind of a little gray outside. You know, it's still not hoodie season yet, but that's when you know it's really football season.
For
when
sure.
It's hoodie weather, but it's still 90 degrees outside and gross. But anyway, yeah, football season's here, man, and I'm excited for it. I've been waiting for this for a long time. It means I can have something to watch on Saturday all day long. Then NFL starts the next week. Then we get Sunday football.
Yep.
You know, like it's here. Did you watch those games last night?
I did, yes. And we'll get JB in here in a minute and talk a little more college football as well. I think we're going to give she did on their show, her and CJ did their top 5 games of the weekend.
The Regal.
Yeah.
The Rise and Grind games of the week, even though it's not Rise and Grind anymore.
And because we're like full on sandwiches and tailgating and out of it, we're just going to copy that and give our 5.
But we're doing the 5 we care about the most.
That's right. Not the 5. Mine are
not the 5 best games.
Bro, mine aren't even close to the 5 best. Mine are probably the 5 worst games, but I care about them, okay?
Yeah, I mean, we care about them. That's what's important. And that's, honestly, to me, that's what makes college football great.
Yeah.
We care about it. It's not the NFL, which is corporate, and, you know, they have the Microsoft iPads on the sideline and all that, and Everyone's wearing the same uniform. College football, people care about it. Like, it matters in these towns. Morgantown, West Virginia is having the Penn State game this weekend, and I just saw on Twitter 2 hours ago there was a 15-mile backup to get into the town because people are so fired up and ready for this thing.
Yep.
I love college football. I went to University of Georgia, and Athens on a game weekend. It was nothing like it. It was
stuff.
just so fun.
Yeah, full disclosure, like I'm more of a pro sports guy than college sports. I'm more NFL, NBA. But I do enjoy a good Saturday college
The thing
football.
to me was, though, like, I grew up in Atlanta, and so and the Falcons sucked. So Georgia Tech was good in the 90s when I was a kid. Like, they tied, I should point out, for a national title in 1990. But they were a good football team, and Georgia was always good. So I grew up, kind of in the midst of the SEC, the ACC, all that stuff. So I was like immersed in it, and I went to Georgia, so I was like immersed in all that stuff. And then I moved to New York City, and no one cared about college football. It was the strangest thing. There were no cars with flags on it, no signs outside of the apartment, no doormats with your team name, none of that. So all of a sudden you're like, oh, and then up there people treat the NFL like people here treat college football.
Yeah,
people tailgate, and it's a big deal and all that. So I kind of got both sides of it when I was up there. And
yeah, like for me, like growing up, before the Grizzlies got here, I mean, Memphis basketball, that was my first love.
Yeah.
Like, and it still is. I mean, but that's like, that was the thing here. I've lived here my whole life. That it's always been Memphis basketball, and the football team was terrible forever, right? And then we had the Tommy West years, and we found a lot of success there. Went to bowl games, and now I feel like Memphis football is the best that it's ever been. Over the span
standard of it.
Yeah, the span of the last decade, it's as good as it's ever been. So yeah, it's like one of those things where I've lived in SEC country, and obviously, like, you have so many transplants here in Memphis that have SEC teams that they root for that are from the region. But for me, it's always been the Tigers, and then the Grizzlies got here, and I've been a Titans fan since when they came to Memphis that one year. So
yeah.
That's kind of that's a history of my sports fandom. if anyone cares.
I just feel like the college football, though, is so much. It has like heart to it, and it has and like, just watching the games, like the play is different than the NFL. The coaches run weird offenses, and they try different things, and they'll do things they don't do in the NFL. The NFL, everyone copies everyone else, right?
Yeah, right.
In college, like you see all sorts of wild stuff and crazy things, and it's so much fun to watch because of that. Minnesota last night, the guy misses the game-winning field goal, and they accidentally shoot off the fireworks. Things like that happen in college football, and it's fun. We can move on in a second. The one thing that to me, though, like the sense memory I have for college football, the thing that like is visceral to me about it is sitting in the stands at a Georgia game, and it's hot, September, no clouds. You're sitting there sweating, and they come by with the big tray of Coca-Cola on ice. And by the time they get to you, it's melted a little, so like the way it tastes, you get it in the plastic cup, and there's like a layer of water on top from the melted ice. That first sip, and it's so good because it's cold.
I agree with that.
That's the taste of college football to me. That's college football. That's the
so
sense memory
random.
of it. But it's right, isn't it?
That is so random, but it makes complete sense.
That's college football to me, like a watery Coke. That's college football, and I missed it, and I'm ready to have it back this week.
Okay, I get that. So what did you care about last night? I mean, everybody's obviously watching the Colorado game.
I mean, I was watching the Braves-Phillies game,
right?
That was a disaster. I was watching that, and I was watching Colorado, and I was watching the North Carolina-Minnesota game, which started late. So it ended up actually being great because when the Colorado game ended, you could flip over and watch like the last quarter and a half of that game.
I agree. Like the stagger was good, but I did not like starting that game at 8 p.m.
You know what else
Central.
is cool though?
Like
I didn't realize the Phillies game was in Philadelphia. It started at 6:40 local time, and I was listening on the radio when I was on my way home last night, and all their home games start at 6:40 p.m. Like most baseball teams start their games at 7:30 local time. The Grizzlies basketball games all start at 7 o'clock local, right?
Yeah.
Starting that game at 6:30, 6:35 local time means our time, the game started at 5:30. So the Braves game was over by 9.
Yeah.
I mean, 8. It was a great early game to get going. So
I think that the Colorado game, interestingly enough, kind of played out maybe the way people thought it was going to play. Like it was going to. It
was close.
You had the rumblings. Like
they were losing for a little while.
Yeah, they were losing for a little bit. North Dakota State, like that's a FCS powerhouse, and so you thought that they were going to come in and be able to be competitive in that game. Colorado just has. I mean, they have two incredible athletes that are going to both be first-round draft picks.
I mean, they
probably.
have two of the top 5 players in the draft, probably.
Yeah. And so I mean, that's how they. Is that? Am I doing that? Oh, my bad. I had my phone turned. I was like, why am I hearing myself twice?
I didn't heir it.
So, yeah. I mean, it kind of played out the way people thought they would. I mean, I agree with what I heard. What they were talking about on with Jess and CJ. That Colorado defense is atrocious.
Yeah.
Like, and they're just going to be bad all year. I mean, I don't know how they're going to be. It makes sense why they're picked where they were in the Big 12, because I just don't know how they're going to be able to stop anyone in the Big 12.
Maybe they could put Shedeur Sanders on defense too.
But that's the thing is, like, with those two guys and how awesome they are, and obviously Travis Hunter playing on both sides of the ball, like, I do think that they're going to be able to put up a lot of points and be in games. Like, I think that they can be competitive. It doesn't appear they're going to be able to stop anybody, and the O-line still isn't good.
They had 23 rushes for 59 yards last night. Colorado.
Yeah,
because they can't block. They can't block anybody.
No, and they try. Like you heard the stuff yesterday about how they went out and bolstered this offensive line and what. I didn't see it.
Yeah,
so
it's like pouring perfume on a pig.
Sometimes
that's
right.
I mean, but they can pass. Sanders had 445 yards throwing the ball last night. 4 touchdowns?
Yeah.
He was awesome. The one pick he had was like that fluky play. Like, it wasn't. He was so good. I brought it up on there. I don't know if you were in there or not when I brought it up. Like, Travis Hunter being on Deion's team is so perfect. Like, growing up as a Falcons fan and watching Deion, like, there was that one year when Deion was on the Cowboys where he started.
That was filthy.
Yeah,
that was insane.
There was that one year Deion was on the Cowboys and he started on offense and defense for the entire year.
Yep.
He was like their slot receiver on offense. Or not slot. He was on the outside. Him and Michael Irvin were the two starting receivers. He played something like 75% of their plays that season. He returned punts, played defense. Who better to take Travis Hunter through this than Deion Sanders? Like, this is perfect.
Right.
You know the other thing, when Florida State lost to Georgia Tech, I was like, this is a big weekend for Deion. Mm-hmm. Because if Florida State things keep going that way, Deion's going to have no ties at Colorado next year because Shedeur's going to be gone. Those guys, Travis Hunter's going to be gone.
I mean, I think that, the thing with that is, I think obviously he's got to have a good season at Colorado. They can't be terrible. But to your point, like, he's going to be able to recruit way better at Florida State than he is at Colorado. He just is. Like, you know what I mean? The money is astronomically different. So, well, probably not. I mean, maybe not.
I don't guess the roster's better though right now.
Florida State's got a better team than Colorado. Yes,
1 through 50 than Colorado does.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want that to happen. I want my guy Mike to turn this thing around.
I get it.
Yeah.
Bring back here.
Yeah. No, dude. Listen, we're gonna go to the college football playoff this year. We're in a good spot.
All right.
Yeah, we'll be back. Okay, so we
have our games.
Yeah, should we bring in JB and let her grade our games?
Yeah, she could be part of this.
I think we should
have her in here.
Yeah, because if we start doing this, we're not gonna.
Do we need to text her or something? She's listening.
Oh, she's good.
Right.
I told her we'd get to her early. Why don't we bring JB in here, give her our games of the week, and let her grade them and see who has the best.
Somebody said Lane can't stop talking about Prime. I can't. I've been watching that dude my whole life.
I was going to say,
yeah.
If anyone's going to talk about him, it should be you.
You know what's funny is one of my best friends, when I can't remember when, like maybe when I graduated from high school or got married or something, one of my best friends gave me a Deion baseball card, like a rookie card. And it's the one where he's wearing the Falcons jersey and a Braves hat, I think, or a Yankees hat. And he gave it to me like in a case. And I was like, oh, that's great. And I've had it on my bedside table. I have like a bunch of just sports stuff over there, you know, and it's just sitting over there. And I've never looked at it. It just sits there. And my son the other day goes, Dad, this card's worth $500. I was like, what? And we look it up, and like if it's perfect condition,
is it graded? It's not graded.
It's not graded, but it's never been outside of this thing.
Bro,
it's
send that thing in.
It's been in the case, but it's also just been like sitting around. Like it's not been like in a perfect, you know.
I mean,
thing.
if it's a really good card, if you can even get like a 8.5, I think. And I'm an amateur with this. You got to ask Roser.
I got to ask Roser.
You got to ask Roser about this kind of stuff. But I think like if it's a really good card, even if it gets graded at like an 8.5, something like that, I think you still could get a lot of money for it.
I don't want to sell it.
Yeah, just get it graded for your just so you have it in the nice little casing.
It's my guy, it's Dion.
Yeah, I would send it in to get graded, dude. I really would. I think you should do that.
I interviewed Dion for a magazine when I lived in New York and got to hang out with him and got to know him, and we started exchanging like text messages and stuff. And I asked him to officiate my wedding,
and
he said he wasn't
available.
No, in the state of Georgia, he's not like licensed or whatever, ordained. He's not ordained in the state of Georgia. He was ordained in Texas because he was living in Texas at the time. It was when he was on CBS, like in between, but he said he couldn't do it.
Damn.
He appreciated it.
You know, the thing about it, watching that last night and just seeing everybody talk about it, it was obviously one of the biggest games outside of North Carolina, Minnesota. Like, it would be fun if they were good.
Yeah.
You know, if they're really good because they're exciting to watch, right?
He's hilarious. Do you see the halftime interview? They're like, Coach, what went right in the first half? He goes, well, there was a plethora of things. It's like, yes, there was a plethora of things, Dion.
Yeah. No, he's a great personality.
He's so funny.
All right, let's get JB in here and get her to grade our games.
All right.
We'll do that on the other side.
All right, so we'll take a break. We'll get JB in here. We're going to talk college football for a lot of college football because we can't get enough of it, and it's here, and we're ready. You're watching the Gary Parrish Show here on Grind City Media, and we'll be right back.
I actually saw these on TikTok before you guys even sent them to me. This is an interesting concept. They're socks that are anti-creasing.
The socks look really comfy.
They do.
But the anti-creasing thing, like, look, why are we still doing this?
So the kids now, they're on the us. If you see them walking, they walk like
my mom's a gym teacher, and she says like kids will like.
I think that's always.
Who cares? The Sneak Fest Show live Tuesdays at 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
Hey Grizzlies fans, after exciting hoops and a lucky night of gaming, where do you rest your head? Look no further than Southland Casino Hotel, proud sponsor of the Memphis Grizzlies. Our high-rise hotel is the epitome of luxury and comfort. Picture this, you've just finished an evening of gaming and dining, so you head on over to one of our 300 rooms to end the night. Choose from standard suite and presidential suite, plus we're pet-friendly and offer mobility scooters for rent. It's a seamless experience for everyone. And don't miss the Main Street Exchange, right in the heart of our casino lobby. Whether you're craving a snack or need a souvenir of your stay, we've got you covered. From polo shirts to shot glasses, take a piece of the Southland excitement home with you. So come stay and play at Southland Casino Hotel, where every moment is designed for your enjoyment. Book your hotel stay by calling 833-703-3350 or visit online at southlandcasinohotel.com/hotel.
Guests must be 21 years of age or older to check in at hotel. Must be 21 plus. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
I saw the Drew Hill story. Y'all rode together in the car, and you put the seat back.
Yeah, I put the seat all the way back, and his knees were still crunched up. And he was like, "Nah, bro, so I drive a Kia, man."
A Kia?
What?
He's 7'4", yo.
Yeah, I don't know how he does.
He got the seats removed.
Somehow.
The Chris Vernon Show, live weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Looking at the college football playoff and the odds to make the college football playoff, this is the top 13 teams. 7 of these 13 are out of the SEC.
I think that first year in the SEC is going to be different. Like I do. I just think it's going to be different.
The Odds Couple with Rob Fisher, Lang Whitaker, John Roser, and CJ Hurt live on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Welcome back to the Gary Parrish Show here on Grind City Media. I'm Lang Whitaker. I'm here with Bennett Doyle, and usually on Fridays, Jessica Benson introduces me on her show. Today, I get to introduce her on Gary Parrish's show.
How
What's
exciting.
up, Jessica?
What's up, Lang?
Was that a little King Gizzard and the Lizard music that we had?
King Gizzard no, it was not. I don't have the rights to their music. I could get in trouble.
I wish we did, though.
I could ask. Actually, you know what? I could ask and
we
see
could
if
just
I
make up some music and say it's King Gizzard.
Yeah.
Just make up some.
I think so.
This is maybe we should just get it. One of my games is surrounded around this concert, actually.
Okay.
One of my games. So basically,
we're doing our 5 games that
we're copying off of what you guys did,
except we're making it personal.
Yeah,
this is like the sequels, like John Wick 2. This is like the Jessica Benson show has the Regal.
Yeah.
This is like our games of the week, but our just games we care about, not like best games.
Yes.
We could call them like the Gapow.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like that. I like Gapow.
Well, now you're really copying, but
yeah, we're not gonna do that.
No,
I can't do
mine are actually
thing.
probably. Like, I don't know if anyone will watch any of the games that I picked.
That's
but,
okay. Wow, that's quite the sell.
Let me go
quite
first.
the sell job.
You go first, Ben.
So tomorrow night we're going to see King Gizzard in Nashville, and so we're staying. It's at the Ascend Amphitheater downtown, and we're staying downtown. And so we want to be able to get an early check-in at our hotel so we can like get there and chill and whatnot.
Leave your stuff.
Yeah, and so but the problem is when I called the hotel, they were like, you can get an early check-in as long as we're not sold out tomorrow night. If we are, then you got to wait until 4 o'clock, whatever check-in time is. And so I was like, all right, well, let me see what's going on in downtown Nashville tomorrow. There's the King Gizzard concert. There's nothing at Bridgestone, so I was like, cool. But Virginia Tech's at Vanderbilt. And so it's gonna be popping off in Nashville tomorrow.
It sure is.
Yeah.
Rod Fisher tried to convince us yesterday on the Odds Couple, another fine Grind City Media subsidiary, that was a game that we should all be very interested in and care about.
It is. I am right there. Yesterday, I said if no one's going to care about Vanderbilt football in this state, as a member of Team Tennessee, I will. I am low-key obsessed with Vanderbilt's hopeful quarterback. They have 2 options at quarterback. One's a transfer from Utah, but the other is Diego Pavia, who was the quarterback at New Mexico State last year, with Jerry Kill, who is now guru of the stars in Vandy. And I think that they could
They're running the
blow
option, right?
people's mind. They're supposedly running the option.
Vander's
Is the
going
stadium
to the option.
done? It's
no,
not gonna be.
it is not
so
done.
it's gonna be ugly. There's gonna be cranes
It
everywhere.
looks better
But
than
it's
last
not under
year.
construction. Like they're not going to have a
I saw
scoreboard
some
being
pictures
held
of it
by
this
cranes.
week. Yeah, they don't have the scoreboard just dangling in the end zone anymore. But it is still unfinished. Like there's like suites and stuff along the field that are just like that are undone. So
yeah,
but it looks better
What's
than
the spread at this point?
13.5.
Ooh.
Vatech minus 13.5.
I could get hurt real
I think
early.
this game is one of those under. Just play the under.
Okay.
Because it's, especially if they're running the option, like they're just going to chew up clock.
Yeah.
We were talking about on Jessica's show this morning, like with the new helmet cam thing or helmet speaker, like that's been making fewer possessions happen per game.
Mm-hmm.
Early in the season, I don't know. I just feel like maybe this is a good under game.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna put that in my notes. I'll put that in my notes. But anyways, hopefully, go Vanderbilt. That's fine. Like that, go Vandy. We root for the underdogs. But like, just stay out of my way. Like I need to get early check-in in my hotel tomorrow. Y'all get your ass to the stadium and stay out of my way.
Here's the thing. Well, first of all, no one's going to the Vanderbilt game. Number 2, what time's early check-in?
I don't know, dude. I bet there are gonna be a lot of what are the Virginia Tech colors? Crimson? Is it crimson and black?
No, it's not crimson. It's like a maroon and orange.
They're gonna pack that thing out. Because people look for an excuse to go to Nashville. How far is Blacksburg, Virginia from Nashville?
I think it's a lot
once upon
farther
a
than you
time,
think.
I watched Virginia Tech in the battle at Bristol Motor Speedway, and it was at the time the largest crowd at a college football game ever.
Yeah.
So maybe they'll treat this the same with
Dude, they're gonna
Vandy.
pack that thing out. I bet that game is gonna be massive.
Virginia Tech travels well, and they can drive there, which always helps.
Nashville to Blacksburg, Virginia is a 6.5-hour drive.
That's doable. That's doable.
What time does the early check-in start though, Bennett?
So we requested 1 o'clock.
But the game starts at 11.
But don't you think that anyone going to it's making a weekend out of it in Nashville?
If you have any problems from traffic from that game, it's going to be people leaving at halftime.
I guess it's a blowout, right?
Because that game might be out of control by that point.
I think we need to bump up check-ins at hotels.
Dude, 4 p.m. is outrageous. For as much money as I'm paying, that's
not
crazy.
A full day.
No.
That's not a full day. We're
checkout time
on
is
this.
not, and checkout used to be
and then they
noon.
want to kick you out right when you wake up.
Now it's become like 11. It's creeping the other direction too.
I don't think that's fair. We have a lot of early check-in requests, and I will say, like, with these hotels in Argentina, they open up their facilities to you, which is really nice. So they're like, well, you can use our gym, and our gym has a locker, and if you need to take a shower, but we can't guarantee that you're going to have a room. So then, like, we land at 9 a.m. So we're going to get to our hotel around 11, and we can't check in until 4.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I've had that happen when we get to, like, when we've flown to Europe and you get there and you're like, so you're a zombie the whole day. It's
You know what I'm thinking about doing? I'm thinking about when I'm getting there, telling the person at the front desk, hey, I really don't feel well. I need to, like, lay down.
Don't lie.
I feel like that's a good way to get early check-in.
We used to have this problem in New York when Grizz Gaming would fly to New York and we'd get there at 10 o'clock and we couldn't check in until 4. Just make a nuisance of yourself in the lobby.
Yeah.
Just lay down.
I mean, we're
going to
be getting slammed anyway, so
you're
yeah.
You're going to have your kids with you?
No.
Oh, well, the kids, you can just let them run around the lobby, and that'll, like, make the clerk be like, we got to get these people out of here.
I can do that by myself,
So then what you do is just lay down on the couch in the lobby. Like, just stretch out, leave your luggage everywhere, and just try to, be as passive-aggressive as you can.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. My first game, the game that means the most to me, obviously, is Georgia-Clemson.
Shocking.
It's at 11 a.m. on ABC.
Shocked.
It is the game of the weekend. Number one versus number 14. It is the game of the weekend.
I mean,
Georgia's going to blast
Georgia's going to smoke
Maybe.
them.
I don't know.
I keep trying to talk myself into Clemson at least keeping it a game.
I think they're going to keep it a game. The line's gone down. Now it's 11.5.
Really?
It was 13.5.
Okay.
If you're
I told you we don't have any running backs. Georgia's all the running backs are hurt or suspended or whatever. Like, I don't know what, like.
If you're a Clemson fan, do you, like, are you, I think if they get blasted by Georgia, I think you start to hear the rumblings of, like, is Dabo, like, the long-term dude here?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but he screwed up. Like, his out was last year.
Right.
Like, Alabama was his thing. Like, that was going to be, he was going to take over for Saban one day.
Yeah. Like, they know they're going to lose.
That's
right?
off the table.
I think they know they're going to lose.
I think so.
Going into it. So I think you accept that. But I think if Georgia just wrecks
Clemson
you.
fans are pretty, like, unattached from reality, though. Like, they might not know they're going to lose. They might think this is it.
Most Clemson fans that I've seen on the Reddit boards seem pretty understanding of, as long as we keep it.
Keep it close.
Under double digits, it'll feel like a win. The whole thing is competing for the ACC, but the ACC, with Florida State losing that first week game, and yes, they lose to Georgia Tech. We'll see what Miami looks like against Florida. But
what if all those teams lose the first week? If Miami loses, if Clemson loses, if Florida State loses, and
Georgia
Tech
almost lost to Western Carolina last night. Wake Forest was in trouble. I know, but still, just in terms of, like, the health of the conference.
It's a little
shaky at the moment.
They're waiting for basketball season.
Yeah. All right, my second game is, we talked about it a little bit, West Virginia taking on Penn State in where is West Virginia again? Morgantown, thanks. That's going to be at 11 a.m. on Fox. Penn State's an 8-point favorite. The only reason I picked it is because my wife's family all went to Penn State, so, like, I root for the Nittany Lions in the Big Ten, and that's really it. That's all I got.
I think that'll be a fun game. I think I told Jessica, or I told Darnell this morning on SportsCenter.
I'm wearing a Penn State shirt, actually.
It's a Memphis shirt. Let's be honest.
It's a.
Are you surprised that that's where they went?
They picked it as the upset on SportsCenter this morning. Trevor Maddich said that.
Why?
Because Penn State they have a new offensive system and they're trying to throw the ball now and they're not used to that, and to have to do it for your first game on the road in Morgantown. Look at that.
Wow.
That's like, it's only an 8-point spread.
Yeah.
It's a one score. Crazy things happen.
Had his struggles last season
for
sure at that point. I don't know. I think this game is such a good example of how conversation shifts in terms of college football playoff. And that's one thing, going into week 1. We saw a bit of it in week 0 where Florida State loses, but that doesn't take them out of the equation entirely, where in the past it absolutely would. So you have a team like Penn State. If they were to lose to West Virginia, that could be detrimental. But you're talking about Penn State as a team that could still make the college football playoff, despite most likely not being the best team in the Big Ten. Like Ohio State could run away with this, or Oregon could run away with this, and you could end up still with 3 Big Ten teams making the playoffs if Penn State's good enough.
Yeah, I don't think Penn State's good enough though.
Come on, man.
I'm a Penn State
You know
hater.
what I think of when I think of Penn
Don't tell
State?
Darnell.
Meat and potatoes. Control the line of scrimmage.
You want to know what I think of
I was
when I
afraid
think
of
of
what you're
Penn
going to say.
State?
Yeah, it's not that.
A certain
I tell you that,
statue
buddy.
going down.
I think it's something else. I don't want to talk about it.
Oh man.
I have one of my games is the same as yours, Bennett. I just realized. I'll save it to when we get to that. We'll talk about. I'll skip ahead. One of my games is going to be. Or how about this one? 11:45 start time on the SEC network tomorrow. Chattanooga at Tennessee.
Nico time.
I have this on as one of my games.
What's Chattanooga? Okay, hang on. I'm gonna say Chattanooga. I can't remember, but I want to say Chattanooga's mascot's a bird.
They used to be the moccasins, right? The UTC mocks. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if it still is. They might have changed it when everybody cleaned up the mascots a few years ago.
I feel like every Tennessee mascot outside of Tennessee,
Still the
Vanderbilt,
Mocs.
and Memphis is a bird. Is that a snake?
That's a shoe, right? The moccasin.
That's a snake you're talking about.
His name is Scrappy Mock. is the name of the mascot. It's a bird. It's a mockingbird.
I knew it. I knew it.
You said it was a snake.
No, I said every Tennessee.
I knew it.
Every Tennessee school outside of UT, Memphis, and Vanderbilt is a bird. All of them. It's all birds.
What is a mock? Here's on the website.
What's Middle Tennessee?
Oh no, they're the Blue Raiders.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
What are you talking about?
Hey, guys.
East Tennessee's a bird, I'm pretty sure.
The UTC athletics department changed logos in 1997. They were still called the Mocs. I was correct. But they moved away, this is on their website, moved away from Native American imagery to a package of logos that used railroad images, the nickname Mocs, and the Scrappy mascot. Because
Scrappy,
they did use a snake for a while.
the railroad thing is because Chattanooga Choo Choo.
Okay.
So they're trying to like the history of the railroad industry in the city. But they did used to have a whole Native American thing, and they went away
their
from it.
mascot was Chief Mockanooga.
Yeah.
I wonder why they changed it.
You know what the Braves mascot used to be?
My God.
When I was a kid?
What?
There's a guy named Chief Nakahoma.
Dude,
I'm glad we've moved forward.
not to go down this path, but one of my favorite
Here we go.
one of my favorite images ever I think it might be the Cleveland, when they were the Cleveland Indians, and it's the dude in like the full face paint and the feather cap just screaming in this Native American man's face.
Oh, when they had like the protests outside? Yeah.
It's just so bad.
Anyway, I
It's
have this game
hilarious,
on my
though.
list because the line's 38.5. Tennessee's favored by 38.5. Look at that.
Nothing compared to some of those lines last night.
But I was gonna hammer.
Give me the Mocs.
I'm gonna hammer Tennessee, and I'm gonna hammer the over in this game because this is a Josh Heupel game where he comes out and Tennessee wins 60-0, and they put their foot in the ground and they're like, because they do this against bad
It's a
teams.
statement game.
They only do it against the really bad teams. Tennessee runs up the score. They're able to have a statement, hey, look at us, we're
Right.
great and all this, and then they're going to lose to Georgia and Missouri or whatever. But this is one of those games where I feel like as a bettor, like there's value on this one.
Okay.
And
Okay.
Arkansas scored 70.
That's what I was going to
That's
say.
true.
You look at Arkansas.
That's true.
The line's
running the score
38,
up on
and
Arkansas
Heupel's
Pine
going to
Bluff.
score some points.
Yeah.
So like I feel good about that.
That's
one.
a good.
I don't disagree.
That's a good point. Like it does feel like these and now with like all of these schools that are joining these, super conferences, it does feel like the bye games are going to get worse every single year. Like when they play these lower tier schools, they're just going to try to score 100 points on them, Yeah. All right. My third game. Now, listen, I gave y'all two, nationally televised, must watch games of the week. We're going to go next to Houston, Texas, where they will be taking on the Houston Cougars, are going to be taking on the UNLV. Are they still the Running Rebels?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They're still the Running Rebels. Okay. Houston's only a 2.5-point favorite. This one's on FS1 at 6:00 tomorrow. I'm a notorious Houston hater on this show.
Just the city or the university?
Just all of it.
Yeah.
I hate all Houston teams.
Okay.
The Cougars, the Texans, the Rockets, the Astros.
Yeah.
I'm a
Cheaters.
Houston hater.
Yeah.
All right. So I root against the Cougars.
I like this UNLV team a lot.
That's CJB. When I saw 2.5, I was like,
However, Houston has a new coach too,
I did know that.
and he's good.
Who's their coach?
Willie Fritz.
Oh, from Tulane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's good.
He replaced Holgerson.
Yeah. So
I just think that they're going to be ass in the Big
They
12
lost
for
a ton of
eternity.
Like they lost their 2 best receivers. Houston did to the transfer portal. I think they replaced 4 or 5 offensive linemen. And this UNLV team, they won the most games they'd won at UNLV since 1999 last year. There's a lot of energy with UNLV. They want to
See, I'm glad we
Boise
waited.
State in the Mountain West.
I'm glad we waited to
they
bring
got-
It's
JB in here.
UNLV. It's the guy who used to be the defensive coordinator in the SEC.
His name is Kevin. No. UNLV coach is Barry Odom.
Barry Odom, yeah.
Who was at
That's
Missouri.
And at Memphis
But they got
for a minute.
this dual
That's
threat
right.
quarterback from Campbell.
Okay, the
Who's
Camels.
supposed to be pretty good. The
Yeah.
Camels, a good mascot. Anyway, I like. They said they're 2.5 point.
Mhm.
dogs?
Houston's 2.5-point favorite.
So UNLV 2.5 point dogs.
Give me the Rebels.
I like the running Rebels.
Give me the running Rebels. Let's go.
I'll take the Cougars.
Hell
Willie
no.
Fritz.
Nah, sorry, Willie.
I don't like. I'm a Astros hater too. Like they cheat. I don't like that.
Yeah,
I'm really
I just hate
anti-cheating.
Houston. Like I hate the Texans. I mean, that's a given. I can't
ended up with
stand
CJ
that
Stroud as
fan
my
base or
quarterback.
that team. Yeah.
I like that. I
I
like
do
all
too.
their receivers. I'm in love with Nico Collins this year. I have him everywhere.
Mhm. Oh yeah, everybody loves the Texans this year.
I'm gonna get my
sure
next
they'll be
ones. I've got some SEC games on here. Miami at Florida, 2:30 on ABC.
Yeah, that's a good
gonna
one.
be an awesome game.
That's awesome.
The environment in the
all
middle of
it.
the afternoon,
in the swamp.
the heat,
Yeah,
That's a
and,
great
like,
week one.
I mean,
sweating
look,
coaches.
Florida's fighting for their damn lives.
Billy Napier's fighting for
Billy
his
Napier,
damn
this
life.
is it, man. You better win or you're getting out of there.
Where
Like,
Mertz time.
we showed a clip on the Odds Couple the other day from the Steve Spurrier coaches show that he has on some channel, and
Wow, that's interesting.
he picked. The line is Miami's 2.5 point favorite and on the road against a good Florida team. Like they're not terrible. They're
But
okay.
look at the matchup predictor.
Graham Mertz is
Okay,
good.
I
Anyway,
think-
Steve Spurrier said that he thinks he picked for the national title Alabama because Jalen DeBoer is a great coach.
Oh, I love Jalen.
He called him Jalen DeBoer several times on the
That's great.
clip. But he also
Jalen,
said Florida's going to win between 8 and 10 games this year.
Okay, I'm going to go a different direction of that. How many games do you think Billy Napier lasts, and how many games does Graham Mertz last before they replace him with
How
their
about
little
this?
5-star
If
DJ
they,
Lagway?
yeah, I mean, I think they win 5 or 6 games this year. It'd be a miracle if they win 6 games.
Do they fire him in the middle of the season?
No, because they
You think
just
they
get their
wait?
money's worth.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, let the dude do something. You're paying him so much money.
Give me Florida.
I want to see
I'm
them
taking
play.
Florida. Yeah, straight
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, that's fun.
I always go back to last season. Florida's season could have started in such a different tone
Yeah.
if they had beaten Utah, and they should have beaten Utah. But they had like a missed field goal. They had a bunch of mistakes down the stretch, and then they end up losing that game. And it just again kind of like propels Billy Napier's hanging on for dear life, and
Yeah.
it goes into this year. But Mario Cristobal, like he has to prove himself as a coach too. I would say of the top 25 teams, there is no coach with a hotter seat than Mario Cristobal of a team that comes into the season as a top 25 program.
Yeah. Remember when he was like,
they were ready to fire him after the Georgia Tech game last year.
he was supposed to be like the big savior down
Yeah.
there. Yeah, they had to get him from Oregon and all that, and like, yeah.
My next game's obvious. Memphis versus North Alabama.
Game of the weekend.
Yeah, I'm gonna miss it. I'll probably be able to watch it.
This game's on my list too because I'm going.
You're going tomorrow?
I'm going
Yeah,
tomorrow.
I wish I
the
was
concert's
going.
not till 9:00. Memphis game's at 6, so I think I'll be able to watch some of it and pull it up on my phone. I mean, hopefully they'll just be blasting them by halftime, and I won't even have to worry about it. North Alabama's terrible. Memphis is a 38.5 point favorite, but I want to see, because you talked about, like we were talking about how the SEC teams are going to run it up, and with Tennessee and with Arkansas last night. I would love to see the Tigers just come out and absolutely blast this bad team.
Yeah.
It would give people so much confidence going into, obviously we're excited about the Florida State game, regardless of what happened with Florida State. But like Troy's kind of an interesting opponent. That team's competitive. So you just want to see them get off to a really hot start. And also, I'm as curious as anyone. I want to see what it looks like on TV with the stadium. Like I want to see, I want to see like how they shoot the game and what it looks like. I'm interested to see what people think that go to the game, just what the atmosphere is like. Yeah, because it's 31,000 is how many people they're going to be able to hold this year, as opposed to 65 typically.
One of my buddies has season tickets, and he's going out of town for something. He's actually going to be in Nashville. But he
oh
For the
god.
King Gizzard contest?
no, for something totally else.
The Vandy Virginia Tech game.
I'm gonna be
glad
stuck in
you said
traffic
he's there.
all day tomorrow.
He's going to the water park in Nashville.
Oh, the Great Wolf thing.
Yeah,
the
something-
wolf
I don't know,
thing.
he's taking his kid.
I want to take my
Yeah.
kids to that.
I want to take myself to that.
It's an indoor water park.
Yeah, I wanna
No,
go.
it's the one at Gaylord, I think. It's at
Oh,
Opryland.
yeah, Opryland.
They got all kinds of
Vernon went
stuff
to it. He
there.
said it was awesome.
I want to go.
Anyway, so he gave me his tickets and parking pass, and he's like, "Take your kids." So
Yeah.
I'm taking my son and some of his buddies to
Oh,
the
fun.
game. But he said the best part of these seats are they're close to the field, which is normally not great, but you can yell at all the players.
Yeah, you probably got a seat back, which is nice.
Yeah.
It's always good.
Yeah.
I truly love going to Tigers games.
I do too.
Me too.
Yeah.
Especially you get a night game versus a middle of the afternoon.
Find somebody's
in the
tailgating, you know,
blazing
like
heat right now.
I just asked the chat, nobody's tailgating. So-
I also I've never been stadium snob. I don't think I've ever even been to a cool stadium. Like I go to Titans games and Tigers games. Like I'm used to the old beat up stadium.
Yeah.
So that doesn't matter to me. I've really never been someone who's just like, oh man, this stadium sucks. I can't have a good time. I just like going.
I like
yeah.
you know what it reminds me of, like going to high school football games when I was like in high school.
Yeah.
And you and your friends
We went
just,
to Halley Stadium. That's where
and
we
you
played our
hang
home
out,
games, right?
Yeah.
You know, you can like 12 people are sitting on the concrete leaning against the thing,
Yeah.
you know, and it's fun. It's like cool. I like going to games there.
Liberty Bowl is a nice stadium.
Yeah, it's fine.
I think it's a pretty stadium.
I think it's going to look
And I think it's
sick
gonna look
once
great with the
yes,
renovation.
It's gonna
I
look
really
like
do
the
too.
inside of a Tesla once they get all that stuff done
Just
to it.
wait.
Yeah, I'm
From
excited
the video
about
I
it.
saw.
Just
Yeah.
not a Cybertruck.
No.
All right, what's next for you?
I was gonna do that game. Same game.
Oh,
Why
you
don't you
are?
do your
Okay.
last one?
Exciting.
How many more do you have?
I got one more.
You go, okay. So my last one, because they're so dear to my heart, JB's going to like this one. It is UCLA at Hawaii.
Let's go.
They are 14-point
Which one's
favorites.
dear to your heart?
Hawaii.
The Rainbow Warriors.
All right, I don't know.
Please.
And please, for the love of God, bring back the Rainbow Warriors uniforms.
We're going back.
That. Or they don't wear them, do they?
The
Do maybe
green?
once. No, the
The
ones that
rainbow
have the
ones?
rainbow
No.
on
On
the
the
helmet.
helmet?
Those are
But I want them
awesome.
to.
Yeah, they never wear them. They wore them like one season a couple times.
I was just happy they brought back Rainbow Warriors. There was a big movement for a while
To get rid of
stop
it.
calling them the Rainbow Warriors and to just call them the Warriors.
It's a great
No. Because people get concerned about the
word rainbow?
and think that it
Yeah.
demasculated the
Yeah,
Warriors of it.
people have hijacked rainbows.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
That's where we are in this country right
I love Hawaii football. Nothing brings me joy.
No, me either.
Quite like this isn't a late night Hawaii football game because it's
now. No, it's 6:30 on
6:30,
CBS.
but-
Yeah. No, they won their first game pretty easily. What's
Not
up
as
with-
big as I thought they would, though, because they were playing.
Bad
They were
weather.
playing Delaware State, and it was supposed
Bad weather.
They were favored by
They
like
didn't cover,
38
right.
or 50 or some crazy amount, and they didn't cover.
They didn't
Like,
cover, and I follow just because it's Hawaii, and like I've always wanted to go to Hawaii, and I'm curious about Hawaii. I follow people that cover that team on Twitter, and just and because that's like the team that you stay up late and watch and bet on. So I've always liked them. UCLA, what's up with them, JB? You could tell me.
They're under their new head coach, Deshaun Foster, who
had the
his,
great press conference.
Great press
Yeah.
conference, but he also made fun of that press conference. So I
Yeah.
appreciate
Respect. I respect
they
him coming
lost
back.
Their,
Yep.
They lost their defensive coordinator to USC. We love a little crosstown rival stealing a coordinator in that moment. But there's a lot of new with UCLA this year. I know there's a lot of question marks on both sides of the ball. A lot of new talent. They got some transfers. So it's one of those things where if you're UCLA, you want to be able to stack a win against a Hawaii team before you face this big bad Big Ten schedule that is going to be a little bit different than the Pac-12 schedule of the past. And I don't know. I don't think Hawaii is not good. Hawaii is still trying to rebuild.
Right.
Timmy Chang
Yeah.
is their head coach, former quarterback of Hawaii. If you used to watch the late night Hawaii action, but their quarterback's Braden Shager. I play with this team on College Football 25, and they're just run and shoot offense all over the place, and they have some good weapons. So
Okay, so
maybe you can put some points and at least get a shootout going.
and remind me now where, because Honolulu Stadium is not a thing anymore.
It was Aloha Stadium,
Aloha.
and it was
Aloha.
claimed
It's in Honolulu,
It was
my bad.
derelict.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I loved Aloha
They're
Stadium.
playing on campus.
That's
now.
where they used to do the Pro Bowl, and it looks
Yeah.
terrible. The
Awful.
campus stadium
It's
looks
like
awful.
on a
tiny.
it's like a
Yeah.
talk about going to high school football memories.
That
It's like
is a high school
track
stadium.
high school
Yeah.
football stadium. I think my high school stadium was.
You want
bigger
to
than
you want to
theirs.
name drop everything Hawaii football story?
Yes,
This
yes,
is a
I
good
do.
one.
I could do a name dropping with Jess Hawaii football
All right,
story. No,
Give
you
it
go.
to me. me. That's why I picked this game. I knew we'd get good stories.
When I worked at Slam magazine, Kobe Bryant was going to be on the cover of Slam, and somebody was going to write the article, and da-da-da. Last minute, the guy who was going to write the article had something come up, and they called me, and they're like, hey, can you do this Kobe cover story? You got to go to Hawaii, because the Lakers were having training camp in Hawaii. So I go out to Hawaii. It was the cover, it's Kobe holding the American flag over his head, like draped over his head. He's wearing a USA basketball jersey. So I go out there, and we're trying to get this thing. We had to go find a place that sold flags on Hawaii. So we're driving around to flag stores. We finally get one. But I went to in Honolulu, I saw a sneaker store, and I was like, oh, I always go look in. So I went in, and they had a Colt Brennan t-shirt.
Ooh, nice.
So I bought it. I still have it. I have a Colt Brennan Hawaii t-shirt. It doesn't have his name on it, but it has his number, and it has remember the font they used to have with the numbers with little marks on them and stuff. So I still have a Colt Brennan. Yeah, R.I.P. Colt Brennan. I have the Colt Brennan shirt somewhere.
Well, speaking of Colt Brennan, I was out on a catamaran in the wonderful Pacific Ocean. We were there for a Hawaii Bowl because that is how we spent our holidays for a long period of time, because if you are the commissioner of the Western Athletic, you should probably go to the Hawaii Bowl over Christmas. I mean, why not? Who says no? And we're on a catamaran, and at the last second you hear this, he's like, hey, can you wait for me? And it's Colt Brennan, and he swims out with his girlfriend to the catamaran and jumps on the catamaran, and we ended up on the catamaran with Colt Brennan and his girlfriend. And I was in 8th grade, and I was in love with Colt Brennan. I thought he was so cute.
I bet his girlfriend was hot, though.
Oh, so beautiful. Supermodel, fresh off the beach, and they just... he threw the football to her in the ocean over and over again, and I loved Colt Brennan with all my heart. R.I.P. to a real one. So I have a picture of me and my friend. I think we're in it was Christmas. We're in Santa hats with Colt Brennan on a catamaran, and we're in 8th grade.
David, is part of the reason you've always wanted to go to Hawaii because the Brady Bunch went there?
Oh, I love the Brady Bunch Hawaii episode.
I love the Brady Bunch.
For me, it was
the movies,
for sure.
Obviously the show, but I loved the movies. Yeah, love the Brady Bunch. Shout out. That was my last one.
I got one more. Another SEC game. Notre Dame at Texas A&M. I don't even know what time this game is. I think it's in the afternoon.
No, it's the evening game.
Oh, it's the night game.
It's the primetime game. That's where game day is.
Okay.
Johnny Manziel's the guest picker.
Notre Dame at Texas A&M, 6:30 p.m. local on ABC. Texas A&M's favored by 3. It's at Texas A&M, and I feel like this is sort of the flip-flop of the Florida game, because everyone's saying well, we all know Florida sucks, but we're thinking, Florida can win this game against a ranked Miami team. This game, everybody's like, well, Notre Dame's ranked number 7, but Texas A&M's better than we think. Notre Dame has young guys on the offensive line. Jessica likes to point out, Texas A&M lost 3 of their 4 leading sack guys last year and tacklers. They're decimated on the defensive side of the thing. Riley Leonard is the quarterback now for Notre Dame, played at Duke last year. Everything I read said take the points on this one. Take the over. These defenses aren't very good, and they're going to score a lot of points. And I kind of think Notre Dame's going to win, though. But I just still don't think Texas
Notre
A&M's
Dame's new
that good.
offensive coordinator is the old LSU offensive coordinator who was with Jaden Daniels.
You know who was number 2 in the country? Second highest rated rushing quarterback last year was Riley Leonard after Jaden Daniels.
If he hadn't gotten hurt, I mean, Duke could have made a sincere push for the ACC. Who knows where we're at with the Florida State narrative of last year and everything. It could be a different world, but I really like Riley Leonard a lot, and the weirdness of Texas A&M is never lost on me. College football is weird because it's a cult of college football. I'm proudly a part of that, but then there are cults within the cult, and Texas A&M might have the leading chapter of just the truest.
They're like the Waco cult.
When they came here,
they are wild, man. For the March Madness.
Well, and they came here. They played in the Liberty Bowl. I guess it was them in West Virginia one year, maybe.
They all dress in white.
Yeah, and we went to the pep rally downtown. They
burned stuff
weird.
At the pep rally.
Yeah, it was weird.
They do
bonfires.
They do
I don't like that.
Chanting.
Calls.
Yeah, it's all kind of strange.
Yeah, I don't like that stuff. That freaks me out.
Yeah, but I like to watch it. And there's always some clip that goes viral of one of their yell leaders or cheerleaders doing something bizarre.
Yeah, it's all dudes.
All respect.
Yeah, it's all guys. It's never anyway.
No, no, it's not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, what is there any other games we missed? Jessica, is there any game
the
you want to
USC LSU game.
Yeah.
Put some respect on the points.
That game's on Sunday night.
Two teams that averaged over 70 points for the totals in their games last season.
Yeah, but they both had generational quarterbacks too last year, and now they have backups for those guys who neither of them could beat out the guys who graduated because they were great.
And we're both Heisman winners and NFL draft picks. I'm just excited. Like, if there's anything Lincoln Riley is good for, it's usually drumming up an offense that can still score a ton of points. So
I also point out on Odds Couple that, like, look, if Lincoln Riley wanted to, if he didn't think this quarterback was good enough, he would have got someone. And Brian Kelly same thing. Like, both of these schools were capable of spending money and going out and getting somebody great, and they didn't do it because they think these guys are good.
Yes,
so
and
Garrett Nussmeier is LSU's quarterback.
And I don't know as much about LSU's weapons, but from the USC standpoint, there's 4 sophomore receivers that are pretty spectacular, and one of them Zachariah Branch, and he played last year. He's just the total athlete package, and he does returns for them too, and he's so talented, like just one of those electric players on the football field that you want to watch. And then from a USC fan standpoint, I hope they can shut down LSU a bit. Like, please, can the defense be anything better than what it was under Alex Grinch? And this is the first opportunity in Las Vegas, neutral site. It really does feel like a neutral site.
I have read that LSU might have the best offensive line.
I did see that.
Well,
maybe in the SEC.
In football.
Yeah.
I mean, but they also said Florida State had the best defensive line, and they got shredded by Georgia Tech. So I don't know if that's true. Anyway. All right.
Thanks for breaking it down, JB. Yeah, we were talking yesterday.
When are you flying out, Jessica?
This evening.
So you're going to miss all this.
I know.
Tomorrow.
Chris was like, do you regret doing it this weekend? And we had to, for PTO purposes, because of Labor Day.
Yeah.
So we get the extra day on Labor Day weekend with the 4-day week next week. So it was the only time period where we could do as big of a trip as we were looking.
Have you seen if you will be able to watch anything? Like what's the time? The time difference can't be that different.
No, it's only 2 hours.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's 1 hour after Eastern time zone. So the time zone's totally fine.
But you can't stream anything.
But I don't think you can stream. Like, I couldn't pull up on my phone. I have internet on my phone, but I couldn't pull up a game. But I could have Twitter. I don't know. I'm just going to try to find an American sports bar to watch.
I was going to say, I got to think
game.
in Argentina, like, at least like for that game, like, I got to think that you will be able to find a way to watch that.
That game's on ABC, right?
Yeah.
So it's nationally televised here.
I don't know. I don't know why going to South America feels so different than going to Europe, because it's not like Europe pays attention to anything either. But this is really the first time that I feel as if I'm embarking on something that I have no idea what to expect.
Like,
at all. Like when we went to Ireland,
Buenos Aires is basically like the Paris of South America.
That's what they say.
It's awesome.
So Jason Smith's dad lives in Belize, and he's like able to watch the Bears all the time.
Okay.
I know that's NFL, and I know that's not South America, it's Central America, but close enough. But he's able to watch the Bears and other stuff. I want to say he's able to watch some college football too. So I bet you'll be able to figure out how to watch that game. Yeah,
I'm hopeful. But if all else fails, I'll have wonderful Twitter, and thanks to the people who just post video clips all the time, I can follow along as best I can.
I'll just take a XXL Boca Juniors jersey, T-shirt, or whatever.
Okay, I'll get on it.
Because I'll be sitting in for Jessica next week and the week after on the Jessica Benson show.
Let's go.
CJ Hurt
You're
and I
the MVP
we're gonna
of
burn
the
that
week
show
and
to
a
the
half.
ground.
Sure are. At least you have football. At least I didn't leave you in like end of June, early July.
Well, I would have had Olympics this year. They got us all through that.
The last 2 weeks have been rough though, without the Olympics.
I missed the Olympics.
At least you have Caitlin Clark.
Yeah, that's right.
She'll carry us home.
Yep.
I don't watch women's sports.
Wow.
I'm kidding. It's a joke. It's a joke.
Wow.
Goodbye.
That's a joke. I'm sorry. Just trying to play a joke.
Bennett, can you host the show while I'm gone?
Actually,
you know what? I might.
I have a hot take on Caitlin Clark that I should throw out there. This would get us some views.
Oh no.
You know who she reminds me of when she plays? Kobe Bryant.
Oh.
She really does. The way she plays reminds me of Kobe. The way, like, not the passing and stuff, the scoring. When she's looking to score.
Yeah.
I told my son the other day, I was like, man, it's the way she like hunts for her shot and gets open and like is aggressive and takes wild shots you don't think people would normally take and they go in. Reminds me of Kobe.
The passing just won't let me get there because she is I wouldn't say she's a pass first point guard, but her passing is almost.
She passes a lot more in the NBA than WNBA than she did in college.
Yeah.
You know, but it was really when she was in college I was watching her and I was like,
every time
she
she's getting a
Kobe.
double thrown at her. Like she has players now who are capable of
finishing.
Exactly.
Not just Kate Martin.
I will say, like, because we had the conversation on the show this week. Is there any other player who pulls up from the logo and it doesn't make you go, who could do back-to-back logo shots? Like miss one, get the rebound, take another shot from the logo. I think it's only Caitlin and Steph.
Kobe used to.
And that's where my brain was at.
That's what I was thinking. Like, I mean, just the confidence and the willingness to take those shots and stuff. That's what it reminds me of. Anyway,
for sure. Appreciate it, JB.
Thanks, Jessica. Have a good
great trip.
Have an awesome trip, and we'll see you soon. We're going to take a break. We're going to come right back, and we've got 5 things coming up here on the Gary Parrish Show on Grind City Media.
The fans are ready for a healthy team. The team is ready to be healthy and rebrand themselves going into this year.
And I think this year is the Remind Me Tour. This team needs to come out and remind people who they are.
Say that again.
It's the Remind Me Tour. Hashtag Remind Me.
Yeah, you just started something. Hey, Grizzlies fans, be sure to tune in to Grizzbeat, where the panel and I break down all things Grizzlies and take a look at the rest of the NBA as well. The show is live every Wednesday, 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Looking at the college football playoff and the odds to make the college football playoff, this is the top 13 teams. 7 of these 13 are out of the SEC.
I think that first year in the SEC is going to be different. Like I do. I just think it's going to be different.
The Odds Couple with Rob Fisher, Lang Whitaker, John Roser, and CJ Hurt live on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
I saw the Drew Hill story. Y'all rode together in the car, and you put the seat back.
Yeah, I put the seat all the way back, and his knees were still crunched up. And he was like, "Nah, bro, so I drive a Kia, bro."
A Kia?
What?
He's 7'4", yo.
Yeah, I don't know how he does.
He got the seats removed.
Somehow.
The Chris Vernon Show live weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Hey Grizzlies fans, turn your stadium excitement into betting action at Southland Casino Hotel. As a proud sponsor of the Memphis Grizzlies, Southland brings you more gaming action than ever before. Step onto our massive casino floor stretching more than 2.5 football fields. Slot enthusiasts can enjoy more than 2,300 machines from penny slots to high limits and play the hottest games like Aristocrat, Dollar Storm, Cloverlink, and Lightning Cash. Table game aficionados can feel the thrill of the felt with 50 live table games. From 3-card to blackjack match, we're ready to deal you in. Plus, don't miss stadium gaming for an interactive digital experience. And for high rollers, our high limit room is calling your name. Go big on 6 high limit blackjack tables or spin one of our 54 high stakes slot machines. Throw in 8 delicious dining options and a 300-room high-rise hotel, and there's plenty to keep you going. At Southland Casino Hotel, the gaming excitement never stops.
Must be 21 plus. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
Maxwell in concert. The Serenade Tour. October 16th at FedEx Forum. Maxwell. With special guest Jasmine Sullivan. And October London. Tickets on sale now at livenation.com. Don't miss Maxwell Live.
Orthopedic injuries can be unpredictable, unforeseen, and unscheduled, and Ortho South understands this better than anyone. Since injuries don't make appointments, you don't need to either. Ortho South welcomes walk-ins during the weekdays, on evenings, and even on Saturdays. So the next time an unforeseen injury makes an unscheduled appearance in your life, visit orthosouth.org to find your nearest urgent care location. Just walk in and Ortho South will take care of everything, especially you. Learn more at orthosouth.org. That's Orthosouth at orthosouth.org.
Welcome back to the Gary Parrish Show here on Grind City Media. I'm Lang Whitaker sitting in for GP. Today I'm here with Bennett Doyle as always, and it's time for our 5 things.
Number 1.
All right, what do we got?
We haven't talked about the tennis, the U.S. Open at
I know.
all.
I feel like, well, we were talking about it a little bit in the office yesterday. I feel like we got to bring it up.
Yeah.
I mean, it's happening on U.S. soil, for God's sake.
It's in New York City. Something big happened last night. Carlos Alcaraz went down, and number 1 in the world.
That is big.
Who won the French Open and Wimbledon, I believe, this summer. Got lost to the 74th ranked player in the world, Botic van de Schandlup.
If you say so. Yep.
I do like that the guy who's
did Tiafoe advance? Did I got Tiafoe
I believe
advance?
so.
Okay.
I believe so. The guy got in trouble for the steroids in the tennis. His name is Sinner. I like that. There's something poetic about a guy named Sinner getting in trouble.
That's pretty good. Sinner.
Yeah,
okay, nice. Vanda's Angela.
Vanda's who?
That was just off the cuff.
Anyway, Alcaraz lost this thing. That's a big deal, like because he's number one player in the world and just played at the Olympics too. He was remember he teamed up with Nadal.
No, he's next up. Like he's the guy.
He's amazing,
right?
Yeah.
It was pretty shocking.
He's 21 years old.
I'm with you. I haven't watched a ton of U.S. Open, but I did check out a little bit of this. That is one of those. GP went last year, and that is one of those. I'm not a huge tennis fan. We used to have the tennis tournament here, which was always fun. But that is one of those that I think would be fun to go to, the U.S. Open.
I've been.
You've been?
Yeah, I went a couple times when I lived in New York. I saw Serena play there one time. That was pretty cool. I think we saw Sampras. I went like in the 2000s, when he was still playing. But yeah, it's cool, man. It's right next to Shea Stadium where the Mets used to play. I guess now Citi Field. It's right next to it. They're actually connected by a long boardwalk, so you can take the Metro North train out there and walk to either one of them.
That's cool.
It's really cool. And like right now, I actually know some people here in Memphis who are going up there next week to go to the U.S. Open. It's like 80 degrees is the high every day. So it's like perfect weather. And you're sitting outside and it's nice. And there's all these courts. There's the big center court, the Arthur Ashe court, and then like there's smaller courts on the outside. You can go watch other people play and stuff. I actually have some money on Sabalenka to win the women's.
To
win the women's draw because she just won the Cincinnati Open. The world number one women's is Iga Swiatek, I think, Polish. And she's been pretty good, but Sabalenka's hot right now, so I put some money on her to win the women's draw. But it does look like Djokovic is still around, and like he's probably the leading contender to win the
Where's
men's.
Coco?
I don't know. She's
Where
still in
Coco
it?
is?
She plays
today. Okay. All right.
I'm looking at the
You got the schedule?
today. I'm trying to view the bracket. She is about to start right now. At this minute, I was told, 11 a.m. our time. She is playing golf. Madison Keys is still around. She's playing.
You got it.
I can't say
you got it, dude. Come on.
Svitolina.
There you go. There you go.
There's another American, Navarro's still in there. Paolini is in there from Italy. Wozniacki is still in there. Swiatek is still in there. In the men's singles, I know I watched Djokovic play the other night, and he looks awesome still.
Yeah.
Sinner, the guy, he's ranked number one in this tournament. He's from Italy, the one who got in trouble for the steroid thing. He's still in it. Let's see, Tiafoe, is he still in there? We saw Tiafoe and Shelton play today. Do you know the story?
I'm a Tiafoe guy.
Do you know his story? I saw that. It's incredible. Francis Tiafoe is from Maryland, right?
I call him Tiafoe.
His father and his mother immigrated to the United States, and the dad was working, doing like construction stuff in Maryland.
Okay.
And the company he worked for got a gig building this tennis facility in wherever this suburb is of DC or wherever, Baltimore. Yeah. So the dad was helping build this thing, and the people who were like from the facility liked him so much that when the facility was built, they were like, "Hey, we want you to stay on and just run the place. Like you run the physical plant or whatever, keep up with everything." And he had a kid, Francis, and so the kid got to grow up on this tennis
playing
facility
tennis every day.
Became one of the great players in the world.
That's cool.
Isn't that incredible?
Is cool.
Like,
yeah.
It's just like the luck of the draw for that kid,
man. That's awesome.
It's amazing.
That's
it makes
awesome.
me want to root for him,
Yeah,
So,
I'm rooting for him too. And I mean, dude, with Alcaraz out, like who knows? We'll see. It appears more open. So
right.
No pun intended.
Number two.
Brandon Aiyuk signed.
Yeah, we talked about it yesterday. We talked it into existence. And it's not the greatest deal. I mean, it's a good deal.
I feel like it's a good deal for him.
But it's a deal that's been sitting there for the whole summer, right?
So I don't think I realized what it was. I didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
I just knew that there was a deal out there and that it was kind of like a take it or leave it with the 49ers and him. That's a pretty good deal for Brandon Aiyuk, dude. I mean,
4 years, 120.
Yeah, because what was the CeeDee Lamb deal? Like, what the CeeDee Lamb deal was like? Was it 136
something like that,
or something like that? Like, dude, that's a Brandon Aiyuk's like the second best. Whatever you think about Deebo Samuel, like Brandon Aiyuk might be the second best receiver on his own team. Like, yeah. So I know Deebo's like a hybrid player, but he's listed
Deebo gets hurt a lot too.
As a receiver. I'm just saying, like, I'm kind of surprised he scoffed at it. At that, I think that's a perfectly reasonable deal for the 49ers
I
to
wonder
give
what
him.
made him decide to like just say, all right, screw it, I'll sign it.
I'm sure.
The season starts. Yeah,
well, the season starts, and I'm sure that your agent's like, dude, I mean, look at what these other guys are getting. It's not.
Yeah.
Maybe it's. I would venture to say, maybe it's a little like, once you see what CeeDee Lamb's getting and what Justin Jefferson got in his deal, it's like, that probably makes sense. We'll see what happens with Jamar Chase. But I think 4 years, 120 makes total sense for a Brandon Aiyuk deal.
What about Trent Williams? He's still. Niners have him.
I think that one could get interesting.
Yeah, I mean the other name
because they're strapped, dude. I mean now they're really they got a lot of guys on the books.
And now now that CD is signed, everyone's talking about Dak in Dallas. Like are they going to extend him?
Yeah, and now there's kind of like a war of words with him and Jerry Jones.
They're going back and forth. He's like, I take what Jerry says with a grain of salt. I don't know. It's interesting.
I mean, if you're the Cowboys, like what other choice do you have? I mean, that's your guy, and you've got a good team. It just feels like take care of him. Like I know what happened last year happened, but like before they embarrassed themselves in the playoffs, they were one of the best teams in the league, right?
Yep.
And so I think that it makes complete and total sense to just take care of him, run that thing back, and see what happens. Because again, They had as good of a chance as anybody before they ran up against the Packers and embarrassed themselves, right?
Yep.
So, I don't know. I think that they should take care of him.
Prescott's set to play on the final year of a 4-year, $160 million deal he signed. He's scheduled to make $29 million this season. Jordan Love, Trevor Lawrence, and Joe Burrow make $55 million each per season, followed by Jared Goff at $53 million.
Yeah, so Jacob told Jamar Chase wants $140.
Yeah.
So... Yeah, again, I go that 4 years, 120 makes complete sense for Brandon Aiyuk. Like, I'm not sure why he didn't sign that earlier, but I'm glad they worked it all out.
I think all this stuff's going to get worked out in the next week and a half before the before the season starts. Like, they're all going to stop. The NFL's not going to let us keep talking about this junk for the next month. You know, like they're going to take care of this stuff.
Yep.
Number 3.
Number 3 is my bad. I didn't have this pulled up.
You're good.
Okay, so Penny Hardaway talked to GQ Sports, I guess recently. I don't know when exactly it was, but I saw this making the rounds yesterday. And they asked him his all-time starting 5. And the answer is, I respect it. I respect the hell out of it. I think do we have the graphic, Jacob? Okay, there it is. All right. He put himself in there, which I will say, if Penny never got hurt, maybe he does go down as one of the greatest players of all time.
Sure.
So I got no problem with it.
You got to put yourself in
there. You got to put yourself in there.
To.
Yeah, they asked the question.
Yeah.
You're right.
They're interviewing him for a reason.
Yeah, he put Shaq as his center. I guess it's not positional, but
it could be. Though. Look at it.
It could be. He put Shaq in there, LeBron, Michael, and Kobe Bryant. I got no problem with the list.
I don't either. That's an awesome team. I mean, if all those guys are in their primes like that, you put LeBron at the 4, you could put Kobe at the 3, or even Penny at the 3, Kobe at the 1, whatever. Pat Penny at point guard, MJ and Kobe on the wings, and then those two guys underneath. Like that I don't know who could beat that team.
Like when that got posted yesterday, like if you go look at the comments on that, a lot of it's like, that's embarrassing, whatever.
Yeah.
And when you see it,
a lot of people don't remember prime Penny,
That's the thing. And I respect him doing it. I got no problem with, obviously, Jordan and LeBron. That makes complete sense. I tend to agree with the people. Kobe Bryant, to me, is, and a lot of people agree with this, is a better player than, like, his accomplishments. You know what I'm saying? Like, he accomplished a ton, won a lot of rings, won 5 titles. I know what you're saying, but, like, I feel like that he still many people consider him the greatest player of all time. Like many people put him
Laker
over
fans,
LeBron,
though.
right?
Yeah, but he's not. I can tell you.
But
here's the truth, Bennett. Michael Jordan is the greatest player to ever play basketball. The best player to ever play basketball is LeBron James.
And
I'm not a fan of either of those guys. I don't care one way or the other. I'm just telling you that's how it is.
Okay, so I look at it as what player was I as a fan of a team, what player was I the most scared of my team to play? It was always Kobe.
Okay.
Way more than LeBron.
But you weren't around when Jordan was playing against
I was, but he wasn't playing against my team, right?
Yeah.
He only played 1 year against the
I grew
Memphis
up
Grizzlies.
as a Hawks fan. Michael Jordan was busting our ass.
For sure.
every year.
Well, he goes without saying. Like, I'm putting him over here. He's one of one, right? But
I think the Jordan greatest thing to me is like
Kobe scared me more than LeBron.
I can hear
always.
That. I get it. And here's the thing: Kobe was really good at mythologizing that whole thing and kind of embellishing his own legend. He coming up with the Black Mamba nickname.
Yeah.
The stories about Kobe working out at 5 a.m. and all that stuff coming from Kobe. Like we always, he was great about like getting that side of marketing basically himself and all that. I think Jordan's going to go down as the greatest of all time because he went to the final 6 times, won the final 6 times, never lost. All that's, scoring titles, first team, all defense, all those different things, all that, whatever. But then also like off the court, like he really made the blueprint for business wise, brand wise, all that stuff.
That's true.
And on the court, he made the blueprint for Kobe. He made the blueprint for if you're a 6'6" wing type player, if you want to be successful in the NBA, this is what you do. He put the blueprint out there.
Yeah,
there was all these
fair.
guys. Penny was one of them. There's all these guys though, like Grant Hill, Tracy McGrady. All these guys took the blueprint, couldn't quite do it. Kobe did it better than anyone else.
Yeah.
But he didn't do it better than Michael because Michael made the blueprint.
Yeah, and don't get it twisted. Like when I'm talking, like LeBron's one of my favorite players ever. I mean, this is a LeBron show. Like we love LeBron on this
incredible.
show. I just like when it came to like the dude that I did not want to my team to ever go up against, it was always Kobe. And granted, he scored like 60 on the Grizzlies once upon a time, so
I think
that makes sense.
And to me, LeBron's the best player ever just because of the longevity.
Yeah,
and
dude.
And
he's still this
He's still
good.
the best player in the world.
Yeah.
We just saw it 2 weeks ago at the Olympics.
Yeah, the fact that he's still this good is insane.
He's playing with his son, and he's still the best player in the world. Like, it's incredible. And the fact that he's missed so few games over his career, and, I think there's a little bit of the messiness of the legacy, like changing teams and all that stuff, and losing finals and stuff. That kind of works against him in this discussion.
But that's this NBA now,
I know,
right?
I mean, Jordan played on the Wizards, like there's everyone has little things in there.
My biggest regret, I did not go see him. The Wizards came the first year that we were in Memphis at the Pyramid. The Wizards came here, and that was the last time. That was Jordan's last season. And that was it. Yep, never got a chance to see him in person.
When he was on the Bulls, he played the Hawks, and me and some of my friends were at the game, and we had seats somewhere, and at halftime, Jordan had like 5 points, and we all ran down to like the tunnel where the players came off, and we were all like, Jordan, you suck. You said the Hawk Dominique's killing you. And he looks up at us and doesn't say a word and just walks back to the locker room. Second half, he had 40 points.
Yeah, of course.
Beat the Hawks.
Yeah.
And we were all like, oh no, we poked the bear. We did this.
Oh, he is the epitome of poke the bear.
Oh.
Yeah, like anybody.
Yeah.
Anybody that ever crossed him. Well, you saw in The Last Dance. Yeah. Okay, I like it. I like Penny's list.
I do too.
Number 4.
All right, so we're in the age of sports documentaries now. ESPN's 30 for 30 kind of kicked all that off when Bill Simmons started putting out all the documentaries. Now they're all over the place. And Bill Simmons is involved with this new documentary that's coming out, I think, on Netflix. But it's dropping next month, and it's Mr. McMahon.
Yeah, September 25th. So hang on. I want to see when WWE goes to Netflix.
It's January. It's January, the beginning of January. It's like January 1st or something like that.
Yeah. January 25 is when WWE is going to move Monday Night Raw to Netflix. So I'm surprised by this. And obviously, I'm really looking forward to watching this. I think it's going to be good. It's the guy that did Tiger King, Chris Smith, Bill Simmons producing. Netflix is always great with the documentaries, right? But
I think this, the clip that's viral of all the time you see now of Vince McMahon crying and like cutting off the interview?
Yeah.
I think it's from this.
Oh,
I think that was part of one of the interviews they did for this. I think.
Interesting. Well, the reason that I'm surprised that it's happening is because it's probably going to be really controversial. And WWE just partnered with Netflix, right? Yeah. And so that's why I'm surprised that this is happening.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm fascinated to watch it. I mean, he's just, he's one of the most fascinating characters in sports, right? I mean, you could call it sports entertainment, whatever, but he's one of the most fascinating characters. Just the way that he took that thing from, I mean, you talk about longevity, right?
Yeah.
The way that he kept that thing relevant for so long.
Yeah.
And he obviously made some poor decisions along the way.
Yeah.
But it's just, I
he
mean,
made some good business decisions too.
It's as popular as it's ever been. Like it is, and he's obviously out and not a part of it anymore. But
because he's a weirdo.
Yeah. But the people that are a part of it are people that he brought up, right?
Yeah.
So Triple H is one of the guys there running the show. HBK is a big part of training talent and stuff. So Stephanie's back in. So it's going to be interesting. I wonder how deep they are going to dive into the controversies on this thing.
Yeah, I know. Well, so I'm reading on Deadline. They have a story about it. It says an unflinching, no-holds-barred look at one of the most enigmatic figures in sports entertainment. Over 200 hours of interviews with McMahon himself prior to his resignation.
Okay.
So, but I mean, I'm sure it's going to go into like the Bret Hart stuff, the Owen Hart stuff, like all the different like controversies they've had through the years with all that stuff.
Yeah, that one, I want to hear about that one, especially the Owen Hart stuff.
Yeah.
Because I feel like we dove so much into the Montreal screw job. Like I feel like I know everything I need to know about it, but I'm interested in that. The Owen Hart thing is, so I was watching that. I think it was Unforgiven. I mean, I ordered the pay-per-view, begged my mom to watch it. And I can remember like Lawler and Jim Ross, like they're coming back from a commercial break and just, you knew something was really wrong. Like you knew something was wrong. And Lawler was like, I'm going to go in the ring and see what's going on. They were like, something's happened with Owen Hart. But like, when you hear the stories now, it's like everybody knew like he was gone, like right when that thing happened, because he fell from way up in the rafters and hit his head on the turnbuckle. But they just continued with the show and did the whole thing, and that was clearly, in retrospect, extremely controversial. Like they had a match, minutes after this guy died in the ring, which is kind of wild. Do you watch Dark Side of the Ring?
Yeah,
have you watched that?
love it.
Oh, dude, it's so good. It's so good. I've watched most of them. I think my favorite one is, honestly, I thought the Von Erich one was great.
Yeah.
And they did the movie, the Iron Claw and everything. I think that one's great. I watched the Brian Pillman one recently, which is really good. The one like Miss Elizabeth is really good. There's a lot of, obviously the Chris Benoit. There's a bunch of really good ones. Highly recommend that show.
That show's amazing. They're all on YouTube.
Okay,
now.
Randall, it was Over the Edge, not Unforgiven. I wonder if it was. I feel like that the Undertaker was. I feel like the Undertaker was the main event. That might be why I thought it was Unforgiven, just because he was always attached to that one too.
I'm just looking through some of these. It was Undertaker and Stone Cold.
Okay. I thought that Undertaker main evented that.
The most terrifying Dark Side of the Ring is the New Jack one.
Oh, what an insane person. My God.
That's like the most alarming thing I've seen.
When he stabs that kid in the ring, he's not, I don't think they knew that it was a kid at the time, but the guy that he was wrestling was.
Or he's talking about like doing crack right before matches and jumping off things.
Yeah,
and stuff.
He's wrestling this dude that I think might have been 17 at the time or something like that. It's like, I think they found out in retrospect it was a kid. And he like stabs him with a piece of glass in the ring.
That thing's wild.
It's insane.
Anyway, it says they also interviewed the journalist who uncovered the McMahon allegations and stuff. So I guess all that's going to be in this thing. It's a series also. It's not just like one documentary. So that means it's hours long, several hours long. So there's plenty of room to unpack all that stuff. Part of it also though, like there's probably a good story of how business-wise, WWF was his dad's regional wrestling thing, and he turned it into a worldwide thing, which is Like, I don't know how to do that.
Me and my buddy saw, it was here. We saw, this was when Raw was here in 2019. I want to say it was January 2019. It was one of the last big appearances Vince made in the ring on the actual show.
Yeah.
Like, he did it again. Like, he came out there. There was the notorious one where he's super old with Stone Cold, and Stone Cold stuns him and he completely botches it. That one's pretty funny, and that happened later. But this was one of the last ones where he like came in and talked. It was on the mic, like, and doing the whole Vince McMahon thing. And Cena came out. I don't remember exactly what the storyline was, but that was a big deal. And like, I still have it on my DVR just because it was like literally one of the last times
when they did it here.
Yeah,
we were having Grizz Gaming, and WWE reached out to us.
Yeah,
and they were like, Sheamus wants to come up and film a thing with you guys playing video games. So we're like, all right, cool. Sheamus comes up and he brings AJ Styles with him.
Oh yeah,
and Cesaro comes with him. So they ended up hanging out up here for like 4 hours that afternoon because they didn't have anything to do. They're just like sitting around.
killing time.
Yeah. So AJ Styles played a game of 2K with us.
He's a big gamer.
And he was so mad. He's a Georgia Bulldogs fan. So he's from Georgia. So we talked a lot about Georgia. He was really cool, dude. I'll have to show you. Maybe I'll send it to Jacob during the break. They were showing us how we used to have a wrestling ring up here. I don't know. Were you here when we had the wrestling ring in there?
Yeah, I remember the ring.
So we were in the ring screwing around, and AJ was showing us like how they do kicks and different things and all this stuff. And he goes, I can show you how we do like a real punch, because like, he goes, we had, there's 6,000 people within 100 yards of you. You have to throw a punch. And he punched me in the face and hit me like hard. And I have a video of it.
Did it hurt?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll send it to Jacob during the break, and we can try to run it.
I need to see
that. It's good. Anyway, let's go to the last one. Let's get number 5.
Yeah.
Number 5.
Okay, so there is like some movie news that popped up yesterday. You sent me that they greenlit another Jurassic World. I think it's Jurassic World, right? It's Jurassic World
Dominion.
No, that was the last one. Dominion was the last Jurassic World.
This one's called Jurassic
Rebirth.
This
one's called Jurassic World Rebirth.
We're running out of words to stick on these movies.
It's like, I know. Why don't you just call it like Jurassic World 4 or whatever? Yeah. You don't have to have some cool name for it. I think the big news was that Scarlett Johansson is going to be in it, which is cool because I was surprised by this. Because she's a big time actress. Like Scarlett Johansson,
she's done like Woody Allen movies.
She's done
Spike
more
Jones,
independent movies.
Yeah.
Exactly, but she's also done big budget stuff. She actually solicited, like, she wanted to be in this movie. They didn't come to her. She wanted to be in a Jurassic Park movie.
Well, she has kids now, right? Like a kid or something.
I think
like
that's
maybe
true.
the kids are into it. You know, like, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm interested. I mean, Gareth Edwards is directing. I think I like him. He did Rogue One. He did that movie, The Creator, which I didn't think was that bad. What else has he done? He did that first Godzilla remake with Bryan Cranston and Aaron Taylor Johnson, I think that's his name.
Gareth Edwards. Monsters, Godzilla, Rogue One, The Creator, the one you liked.
Yeah. He's done some good stuff. I think this has potential. I thought that the last Jurassic World movie was pretty disappointing. Dominion.
Is Chris Pratt still in them, or is that his name?
I think he's done.
He's done?
Yeah, I think he's moving on.
This film will star Scarlett Johansson, Mahershala Ali, who's awesome.
Yeah.
Jonathan Bailey, I don't know who that is.
This is his first movie in a long time, Mahershala Ali.
Rupert Friend, and then people I don't know.
Yeah, I'm interested, man. I'll give this a chance. I like, obviously the original Jurassic Park is just dear to my heart. That's one of the first movies I saw. Like, it's not one of the first movies I saw in the movie theater. It's one of the first movies I can remember, like, the experience in the theater. Like, when that T-Rex comes out, I mean, that's one of the most insane things for that time period. One of the most insane things I've ever seen. So I like those movies. Even the bad ones I enjoy. I thought the last one was... Because the last one was disappointing, in my opinion, because it was so hyped. Like, they were bringing back the old cast, mixing with the new cast, and it was like the dinosaur stuff is cool and everything. I just thought the storyline was kind of weird.
Do you want to hear the premise of this one?
Yes.
From Wikipedia?
Yes.
5 years after the events of Jurassic World Dominion, the planet's ecology has proven largely inhospitable to dinosaurs. Okay. Those remaining exist in isolated equatorial environments with climates resembling the one in which they once thrived. So they must be like on some place in an island in the Pacific or something, right?
Yeah.
which is kind of how the first one was. Anyway, the 3 most colossal creatures within that tropical biosphere hold the key to a drug that will bring miraculous life-saving benefits to humankind.
Okay.
Experienced covert operations expert Zora Bennett.
Nice.
That's Scarlett
Shout
Johansson.
out, Miss Bennett.
Is contracted to lead a skilled team on a top secret mission to secure genetic material from the 3 most massive dinosaurs. When her operation intersects with a civilian family whose boating expedition was capsized by marauding aquatic reptiles, they all find themselves stranded on an island where they come face to face with a sinister, shocking discovery that's been hidden from the world for decades. What do you think the discovery is? I bet it's going to be the island from the original Jurassic Park, Isla Nublar, and the
Isle Nublar,
whatever who's the Attenborough is going to be there, like 1 million years old, kept alive by AI or something.
No, that man's
Maybe
dead.
it's Newman or Sam Jackson.
Newman
one of them
would be hilarious.
One of those guys is going to still be there.
Oh, like Newman turned into like some like
he got bit by that dinosaur, and he's like
he's
Dr.
like,
Moreau's Island.
Yeah, I like that. Okay, I'm in on that. Actually, I think that that makes a lot of sense. I want that.
Got this figured out. All right, you also had a Winona Ryder.
Oh, yeah. I saw this quote yesterday. I just thought it was interesting. Let me find the exact one. So she's going to be in the new Beetlejuice movie, Beetlejuice, which drops next Friday, I believe. I'm stoked about Beetlejuice. I'm a big fan of the original.
I've never seen the original.
Oh, it's great. Yeah. It's great. You got to watch Beetlejuice. Yeah, it's totally worth it. And it holds up, too.
Can kids watch it?
Yeah.
Should I watch it with my son?
Yeah.
Right.
It's one of those. Okay, I'm glad you brought that up because how old's your kid? 10?
11.
Okay, he's 11. Yeah, he can definitely watch it. I mean, my kid's seen it. He's 5, but we probably let him watch some things he shouldn't be watching. But in this, there's death and scary parts and stuff like that. But the reason I think the original is so cool is like a family type movie, I guess, is because what I've learned, especially with Noah, my 5-year-old, kids love to be like kind of scared.
Your kid likes to be scared.
He is.
My son doesn't.
So he is fascinated with.
You've told it.
Like, I got a big Blu-ray DVD collection, and I got a lot of horror movies, and he always wants to look at the boxes, and he wants me to tell him about them. Okay, so there's Michael Myers. Okay, what did Michael Myers do? Who is he? What is it? He wants to know who's Ghostface, who's Jason. He wants to know all about it. And he likes like Goosebumps, and he's watching like old episodes of Are You Afraid of the Dark? Like he likes kind of scary stuff. And I feel like that there's not enough of that out there. Like it's either with Halloween coming around, like it's either super like, kid friendly, like animated, silly, blah, 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 or the other end is like complete like gore, horror, terrifying, scary that he can't watch. I feel like that there's a happy medium that someone needs to find and make something for kids that's like kind of scary, but
that's what Tim Burton has done.
That's what Tim Burton's done, and that's kind of what Beetlejuice is.
Yeah.
And so I'm excited about Beetlejuice.
Anyway, Winona Ryder's in it.
Yeah, she's in it. And she had a quote yesterday because she's also in Stranger Things, and she's talking about how she gets frustrated with some of her younger co-stars who aren't that interested in movies. And her quote was, "The first thing they say is, how long is it? I think that there's just such an abundance, the history of film, the history of photography. It's so rich and there's so much there. And I don't mean that we should go backwards, but I wish and I hope that the younger generation will study that." Winona Ryder, obviously like a big cinema film. Like she was in the Criterion Closet recently, did a video of that. But what we were talking about, there was another part of it where she was talking about like the Stranger Things cast, and she referenced The Boys, but she didn't mention Millie Bobby Brown. And so that led some people to believe that there might be some beef there.
I woke up on Twitter, people were going after her because she didn't mention Millie Bobby Brown, and they were like, wow, this is like shade.
Yeah.
Someone else pointed out, someone posted videos of her going to visit Millie Bobby Brown like at home and other places, so apparently they have a good relationship. But I was thinking about it, though, like, some of the episodes of Stranger Things are longer than movies.
That's I
like,
mean, I think that they the final season. I think that the episodes are like an hour and a half each or something like that.
Yeah, I mean the whole thing is like each season's 10 hours. That's longer than a movie. Like that's a lot of content.
Yeah, I respect her for saying it. And it is everything like that. When you see stuff like this, it always is like old man yelling at the clouds. Yeah. But as a big movie guy and movies, it's been a good year for movies, man. The box office is doing well. People are going to the movie theater. So I hope that, people's attention spans can handle it for the foreseeable future, because movies are great.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at. That's the only reason I wanted to bring that up. And I'm stoked about Beetlejuice comes out next week. Beetlejuice.
I saw Twisters. Did I tell you? I saw
You
Twisters
did.
there. Yeah,
Craig Brewer
That's
was
right.
talking.
Yeah,
he was here yesterday.
It's fun.
Yeah, everybody said it's awesome. And he said it's. He was like, I don't think I mind us saying it, but he was talking about how, because he did Footloose, right? And he was talking about how there's this newfound like appreciation or wanting for like the heartland, like Americana kind of movies, like Twisters, Top Gun Maverick. He, like I said, he did Footloose. I think he's onto something there. I do think he's onto something with that. I do think that people
like
want
that.
stuff like that. Yeah. So we'll see.
All right, we got a GP's carry out, but we're going to take one more break, and then we're going to come back and do the carry out and get you out of here for the weekend and watch some college football. We'll be right back here on the Gary Parrish Show on Grind City Media.
I actually saw these on TikTok before you guys even sent them to me. This is an interesting concept. They're socks that are anti-creasing.
The socks look really comfy.
They do.
But the anti-creasing thing, like, look, why are we still doing this?
So the kids now, they're on the ice. If you see them walking, they walk like
My mom's a gym teacher, and she says like kids will like.
I think that's always.
Who cares? The Sneak Fest Show live Tuesdays at 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
In Bo we trust. Bo is the future. I just want to go back to August 19th when I've made it perfectly clear. When I make the fantasy football championship and the Broncos make the playoffs because of the success of Bo Nix. The bar is low. Give me Bo. That's a good one. The bar is low. Give me Bo.
Tune in to the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt live every weekday at 8 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Justin Timberlake.
I'm bringing sexy back.
The Forget Tomorrow World Tour. Live in Memphis. Justin Timberlake. FedEx Forum, Saturday, November 23rd. Get tickets now at livenation.com. The brand new single Selfish is available to stream and download now.
So if I get jealous, I can't help it.
For more, hit up justintimberlake.com.
There's no substitute for experience, the knowledge gained from having been there before, and the passion to share what you know to make everyone around you better. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies Checking from Pinnacle. Play hard. Bank easy. Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by August 31st, and you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GBWR.
Oh, look at that.
They're out there.
What is that? What's Miss Crumpy's?
Oh, it's Crumpy's. It's just Crumpy's.
Oh, is it wings?
Yeah. Best wings in Memphis.
That says Miss Crumpy's. I thought it was just Crumpy's.
There is just Crumpy's. I don't know what Miss Crumpy. Maybe that's the food truck.
Okay.
Anyway,
I got wings last week. I might have to see what's up with the other ones.
I'm eating a salad because I had sausage and peppers this morning on the Jessica Benson show.
Dude.
Welcome back to the Gary Parrish Show here on Grind City Media. And it's Friday, and we're about to get out of here, but we can't leave without GP's Carry Out.
GP's Carry Out. One final segment filled with stuff to take with you. It's not everything you need to know, but it's most of it. What did we learn today?
What did we learn?
Yesterday, I learned a lot about owls. Today, I don't know. We talked about everything. We talked about college football. We talked about Kobe Bryant. We talked about Caitlin Clark.
I actually learned a lot about college football today with JB in here.
Yeah. We talked about Argentina. We talked about international travel. We talked about movies. The U.S. Open. We were kind of all over the place today.
Yeah, I learned quite a bit.
I think I learned a lot too. Yeah.
What's today's biggest game?
Well,
you go ahead. I got a college football I'll give you.
Yeah,
I know you want to shout out your Braves.
Well, Oklahoma plays tonight. That's like their first game as a member of the SEC, but they're playing somebody crummy.
They play Temple.
Yeah, it's like no. I want to watch the Braves. Braves lost a brutal game to the Phillies last night and had a chance to cut it to 3, the lead in the Eastern Division to 3, and they didn't take the starting pitcher out soon enough, and he gave up a 3-run home run, and then it was downhill from there. But tonight, it's Ronaldo Lopez, all-star Braves pitcher, going up against Ranger Suarez, who was also an all-star, I think, for the Phillies. So that should be a really good matchup tonight. The game starts at 5:30 Memphis time, so you can watch that and then flip over because there's a kind of an interesting college football game.
It's the only game with 2 Power 5 teams playing each other. It's TCU at Stanford, 9:30 on ESPN. TCU is an 8.5-point favorite. Your newest ACC member, the Stanford Cardinals.
And they have a new coach. It was the guy who was at Sacramento State.
Is it Cardinals or Cardinal?
Cardinal.
Yeah.
Singular.
Yeah, because it's not the bird.
The tree. The mascot's a tree.
Yeah.
But it's the cardinal. I think it's the color.
Okay.
The color red.
Gotcha.
I don't know. We should ask Brevin.
Yeah, he was a Stanford Cardinal. Yeah.
But the coach at Stanford is the guy who was at Sacramento State the last couple of years, and I think Stanford's run as a
how do y'all know this
powerhouse. I looked that up yesterday.
Okay, I was gonna say
we talked about it on the odds couple.
Between you and Jessica,
I have a very short recall, but I can remember these things if I need to.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah, I think Stanford's time as like a quasi powerhouse might be over.
Yeah.
Now they're going to go back to being like the Georgia Tech of.
So they're going to
they're in the ACC.
They're going to get blasted tonight. Is that what we're saying?
I don't know.
8.5.
Yeah.
Give me TCU.
I think I take TCU.
Yeah,
too.
give me TCU to cover the 8.5.
What are we watching on TV?
What are you watching?
I'm watching, if I can find the time, a new movie dropped on Hulu today, Kinds of Kindness. It stars God, why can't I think of her name?
Winona Ryder.
No.
Millie Bobby Brown.
No. Hang on. No, everyone
Jacob
knows her. Why
Blevins.
can't I think of it? Why am I having a brain fart right now?
Sydney Sweeney.
No, Emma Stone.
Emma
Golly,
Stone.
what's wrong with me? I was thinking Emily, which is probably her name actually. But anyways,
that's a good point. Yeah.
I call Emma Stone's in it. It's Yorgos Lanthimos who did Poor
it's that
Things.
dude,
Yeah,
Poor
that's
Things?
why I'm interested in it.
It's not coming out in theaters. It's just coming out.
It
on
already
Hulu?
did. It had a quick run in theaters. And this one is.
This one's got like some weird sex stuff in it.
Well, believe it or not, this one's supposed to be stranger than Poor Things, which that's a pretty high bar.
I watched Poor
Yeah.
Things. Yeah, that was a weird movie.
I really liked it.
It was good.
I really
liked
liked
that
it.
dude, the director. I saw the what was the one, the Queen's, the one about the Queen that he did with Emma Stone. The Favorite.
Yeah,
I saw that on an airplane, and I was like, this is a weird movie, but it was kind of cool and great. Then I watched The Lobster, and then I watched
Lobster's Wild.
Yeah, I love that dude. I like that he just does weird stuff.
I'm
and we're
a
cool
big
with it.
fan too. He did another really good movie called The Killing of the Sacred Deer, which is good. So yeah, he's pretty good.
Kindness
Yeah, Kinds
on
of
Hulu.
Kindness is on Hulu now.
I've got something else for you to watch.
I thought you might. Let's see it.
We mentioned earlier when AJ Styles came up here and taught us how to throw a punch, and he says, and I should point out if you watch this video, he says there's a clear warning here. He says, I'm going to hit you, and I say okay, and I'm thinking there's 20 people standing there. How hard? What's going to happen? Roll it and I'll tell you.
Okay, let's check it out. think we got it.
We got it. I saw it a second.
There'll be none of this.
Okay. No faking.
It's legit. So I'm going to measure here, and I'm going to hit you here. Okay. So, but these are real. Ready? Okay. I felt it.
Yikes, dude.
Okay. So, but these are real. Ready? Okay. I felt it.
So we've talked about it with I showed that on the wrestling podcast one time with Dustin Starr, 5-star.
Yeah.
And he was saying, like, the thing that's worth noting there is that the way he hit me, like, he stretched out my neck.
Yeah.
And made it a big flat space.
So he's hitting you right here.
Well, like basically here. But he hit me with the forearm, right?
Yeah.
So like it makes a lot of noise. It's like skin on skin. And so it's loud. So
yeah,
if
it
you're
sounded loud.
If you're in a ring, it's loud. But there's nothing there that can break or bleed. There's no nose, ear. You know what I mean?
Oh.
It's flat.
Yeah. Okay.
So just played the sound. So like it's just this flat space where it just makes noise and it's loud and it hurt. Yeah. But I went over and sat on the couch. A minute later, I was fine. And I thought, you know what, man, I'm gonna have like whiplash tomorrow or whatever. I was fine. It was nothing.
Good on you. Good on you for taking the punch.
That's what I said. Like he was the heavyweight champ at the time.
Yeah.
In WWE. I was like, I got punched by the heavyweight champ and didn't go down.
I would have done that too. Yeah.
He screenshot it at the moment.
Yeah, dude, that hurt. I know that hurt.
That's an awesome video to have, though.
I respect the hell out of all those guys.
Yeah,
I really do. Because like that's the thing. It's like anyone that says wrestling is fake.
Oh no.
It's just it just comes across so dumb because it's like, yeah, they're not really like fighting and but they are beating the crap out of each other.
When Goldberg was a WCW champ.
Yeah.
I was in Atlanta at the time working for a magazine there, and I spent a day with him. And he had like a briefcase he carried around all day, and the only thing that was in it was one of those things of Advil with like 1,000 pills in it. Like he just had to take Advil all day. I said, "How do you fake it when you get hit with a chair?" And he was like, "You don't. You get hit with a chair." He's like, "You don't fake it. You get hit with a chair. It hurts." And I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah." All right.
Yeah,
anyway,
that's awesome, man.
That's for you to watch.
All right.
What's the best thing we've read?
I'm reading a book right now that's really good. It's a John Grisham book.
Oh, really? I didn't even know he had a new book.
I don't know if it's new. I had been reading another book. I finished it, Camino something. It's about a guy who owns a used bookstore in Florida, and somebody breaks into Princeton's library and steals the collective works of F. Scott Fitzgerald.
Okay.
And tries to move them on the secondary market, basically. And this guy in Florida gets involved, and it's a good book. Fun book.
Okay.
Good summer book.
Cool. No, we already did that. Hang on.
What's on tap next week?
Next week, Rob Fisher's going to be here. He's going to be hosting the show.
Fish Nation.
GP's out of town.
We're off Monday.
We're off Monday. But I'll have Fish in here next week. We'll recap a huge college football weekend. You're going to be hosting the JB show next week.
I'm hosting Jessica's show all week.
JB, GP both out this week. Jessica's going to Argentina. GP's in Atlantis. Like, come on, man. I need a vacation.
I'll be at the Liberty Bowl tomorrow. You're going to Nashville?
I'm going to Nashville. I'm going for like a day, though.
Yeah.
I need like a week-long trip to somewhere amazing and tropical or just beautiful to look at.
I'm playing golf at Audubon Sunday.
Oh, that's beautiful to look at.
That place is great. Have you been? You're not a golfer.
I'm not a big golfer.
They redid Audubon, and it's awesome. It's really good.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah, it should be a big week next week. It's football's here. We got the NFL starting up next week, so I'm stoked about it.
I'll be back here one day next week whenever Jessica comes.
Yeah. We'll
Friday,
have to come in.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But we got to watch the Georgia Bulldogs take on Clemson tomorrow at 11 a.m. My whole weekend is centered around this 11 a.m. time slot tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens.
All right, man.
How
Good luck.
about them dogs? All right. That's it. Hey, I appreciate you guys hanging out with us.
Man. Appreciate you hosting.
Thanks everyone in the chat and everyone over in the truck in the studio and all that helping us out on that end. It's been a good day, good couple days, and have a good weekend. Have a good long weekend. See you next week. You're watching the Gary Parrish Show here on Grind City Media.